All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and today I wanted to give you a PSA because after my video yesterday on Storm, I seen quite a few of you guys sending me screenshots, some of you being free to play, of you tier 4ing Storm. And that is actually not what I was hoping to cause. Like, that was not the reaction that I was hoping to see from people. Because although I'm understanding of the fact that people are excited for a free-to-play alternative to the Krakoan uniform for Storm and the paywall uniform for Psylocke, it's always best, and I will keep on advocating it is always best to one, wait for the live stream to see how the character plays. Two, wait for the patch notes to get as much information as possible about the character. And three, wait for the update to go live and see what I would say other content creators, not just myself, and then collect all of that information and then decide for yourself if the character is good enough to justify the crystals for the uniform and the tier 4 upgrade. Never will I say, oh, there's a character getting an upgrade in 4 days, go ahead and tier 4 them now and hope that the character is good enough. Unless you are a massive whale and you have like 40, 50, 60 tier 4s and you just spend a bunch of money on the game, then yeah, it doesn't matter. You can tier 4 the character, and if they end up being bad, oh well, it's just another tier 4 that just sits on the shelf for you. But if you are strapped for resources or you just want to get the best bang for your buck, it's always best to wait. Okay, and that's part of the reason why I was very, very shocked when I saw people sending me screenshots of themselves tier 4ing Cyclops. Storm I can understand, right? Storm I can understand, especially if you're free to play. Cyclops threw me for a whole loop. I understand you guys are excited, but you never want to get caught up in the fever, right? You never want to get caught up in the hype and then just start doing crazy stuff with your resources, because eventually you're not going to have any and you're going to have to start swipe. You know what I'm saying? To get more. Cyclops in this game, throughout its entire history, has only ever been meta when he was or is a supervillain. He's currently a hero and he will be remaining a hero, because he's going back to the basics for X-Men 97. I don't see Cyclops being a villain. And I want to stress that. He has only ever been meta in this game when he was a villain. For Age of Apocalypse, this uniform turned him into a villain. And then for the Phoenix 5, it also turned him into a villain. And that is, or was rather, important back in the day, because he was the only support character that we had for ABX. And later, ABL. However, that is no longer the case. We have not one, but two options available to us via Leader. I know he's paywall, right? But we have Leader now. And we also have Mysterio. I understand that Mysterio's uniform is seasonal. You can't get it all the time. Depending on when you start the game, you might be waiting a while to get it. But this is a summer seasonal. So it's going to be back in August. And it's going to be here for crystals. So it kind of threw me for a loop when I see people tier 4ing Cyclops ahead of time, knowing that this guy, there's never been a history in the game where he's dominant for PvP or dominant for PvE. The best I could see, the best case scenario I could see for Cyclops is they turn him into, like, looking at the history of the character being a leader and a support, they turn him into the mutant version of Nick Fury. You know, 60% all attack and defense for all mutants instead of all allies, and then change this from just energy attack to 50 or 60% damage dealt. That would make him a very, very powerful leader / support combination. That I could understand if people wanted to tier for him for World Boss Legend Plus. But on that same note, mutants don't pop up that much in World Boss Legend Plus. And if you were not someone who was excited to tier for Nick Fury just for the thought of having a leadership / support tier 4 for World Boss Legend Plus, why would you be tier 4ing Cyclops ahead of time, knowing that the way how Nick Fury gets treated in this game, a leader and a support, is the exact same way that Cyclops gets treated in this game, only he's worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a big difference between what Nick Fury offers and what Cyclops offers. So if you wouldn't tier for Nick Fury, why would you tier for Cyclops before you wait and see what he can actually do for you? Like, there's never ever been a time when this guy is dominant for PvE or PvP. At one point, he had iframe ignore in his kit, and they took it away and they didn't bring it back. I think this skill right here, yeah, it has iframe ignore. So that has some semblance of PvP in there because it's 100% penetration. Now, if they try to go back to PvP for him, he would need a lot of damage reduction to actually have a fighting chance. So they could do that, right? They could make him really good for PvP while still being a support slash leader. They could do that. But why would you bet on them delivering you hope when you could just wait and see? Wait for the live stream on Monday, wait for the patch notes on Tuesday, wait for the update on Wednesday. I don't understand. Like, what do you have to lose? The most you can do is you can start farming some more books of Ashanti, like two books, maybe 3 at the most. I didn't look at the days. Like, you mean to tell me you're that impatient that you're willing to bet that Cyclops is going to do something that he's never done in a 10-year run of this game? Like, to me, that is madness. This is Sparta, and that is madness. If you look at Cyclops' kit, like, even with a CTP of Rage, he's not even optimal to play, right? Most characters in this game, they can either be played with energy of destruction or a rage, a judgment if they're elemental for PvE content. If you look at Cyclops' kit, right, 3rd skill requires you to delay until he fires the beam into the sky. But let me turn off this stupid cooldown thing, right? You can't cancel out of it when he throws up the crystals or the glasses or whatever he's throwing up, like the particles. You have to let him throw it up, then fire, then you can cancel out of it. You look at his 5th skill, look at this long pause that you have to wait for if you want to get the lasers to go off. You could cancel out of it when Jean shows up, but you're losing a lot of hits, right? So you have to let him charge, and then you can cancel out of it. And then it's the same thing for his tier 3. You can sit in it, or you can cancel out of it once he has that long delay. Having to delay those 3 moves, if you want to proc on the 4, because the 4 has a good amount of hits and it's iframe, so he's really relatively safe, right? Having to delay those means that your rage proc is going to be so out of sync, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be irritating to play this guy, right? I like the 2nd skill on him with iframe, and him bouncing in the air like that is actually kind of cool. Like, that extra step, really cool. But like, I'm not here to shit on Cyclops. I'm just not understanding why people, outside of just, oh, I'm hype, I've waited so long for X-Men 97, right? Outside of that, I just don't see the logic behind tier 4ing Cyclops. I could see the logic, and I can understand the logic in doing it for Storm, right? Because chances are you're gonna be able to use Storm in ABXL, right? Because you don't have Psylocke paywall uniform, and you didn't have the paywall uniform for Storm. So that I can understand. Cyclops throw me for a whole loop, guys. So please let me know what y'all are thinking. I just want to remind you, some of y'all were the same people, right, that were mad when they didn't do enough for for Winter Soldier. Even though Winter Soldier's uniform is actually pretty good, right? They didn't do enough. You guys saw that he was getting a 2nd uniform, and you assumed that it was absolutely going to be meta breaking, because this one, you know, it moved into the meta because it's combat villain, and he was right there with Dr. Octopus and Hulk and whatnot, right? So some of y'all were like banking that this is gonna be the way. So you tier 4'd him ahead of time, bought this uniform, and realized that this uniform is meant for new and returning players, so it's not gonna do anything for you, and then you're mad. Same thing might happen again with y'all jumping the gun on Cyclops, and that's coming from somebody who has I think I have like 52 tier 4s. So like, it's not really gonna hurt me to tier 4 him ahead of time, but I'm always gonna wait and see, I don't need another useless tier 4 on my roster. I'd rather just go back and tier 4 Nick Fury if Cyclops doesn't end up being valuable to me. Right? Again, not here to shit on the boy. Not here to shit on the boy. Okay? Maybe I just need to watch the show so I can feel what y'all are feeling. That fever, right? And then maybe I'll do the same thing too. But for now, I'm gonna just sit back, relax, and wait. I'm out of here, man. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Just want to hit you guys up with a PSA because some of y'all be crazy. This is one of the craziest things I've seen. People tier 4 Cyclops ahead of time too. It's madness.